Hey guys, quick little announcement. This is a pre-recorded episode prior to when Matthias mentioned us in the community post and talked about us in his 2 videos. And we just want to give a huge thank you to Matt and to our fans. To Matt, thank you so much. First of all, you know what you did, and for me especially, I am eternally grateful. And for mentioning us in those 2 videos, well, we certainly did not see that coming. We freaked out the entire day. Your love and support has really become an inspiration for us. For me especially, it has re-energized my motives in trying to make the podcast the best thing it could possibly be. Thanks to you that this podcast is thriving as much as it is. You mentioned the Discord where we do our live recordings, and it has brought a huge influx of people into the Discord. And from our last live recording that we had, there were so many people, so many theories, so many comments. So by you mentioning us, it strengthened our community, it strengthened our podcast community, and it strengthened the 863 community, which is the main reason why we're doing this. Sometimes you just don't realize things until somebody points it out to you, and we are those people. And then thank you to the fans. You gas us up. You are our hype men. Let me tell y'all, it gets me going, and your support, it's just pushing me so hard to make this podcast so much better. This is still all a work in progress. We're trying to work out some kinks, some goofs. We're trying to make things flow a little bit better. Obviously, Artemis and I are very new to this. If you want, you guys can come in on the journey with us to just try to make this the best it can be. In this recording, I still have my crappy mic. I'm so sorry. And in 2 episodes from now, I'm gonna have an even better mic. So I apologize in advance, but you're just gonna have to suffer through one more episode, and then your ears can be blessed by this beautiful voice. Artemis and I, we thank you so much to Matt, to High Five, to our fans, to the Discord, to the Reddit for allowing us to post, to just everybody. Thank you. I love you. I don't say that often if you know me, but I love you. You heard it here, folks. Now on to log 1.2.
Hey guys, this is Artemis. Before we begin, this is a disclaimer. On the second half of our podcast, the live audience may raise the curtain or have knowledge on things behind the scenes. If this is something you choose not to be a part of, we respect it. So the first half, with just Nikki and myself, we will only be talking about what is in the show. Thank you for listening and being part of Subject 4 with us. We are going over Season 1, Episode 2 of the 863 series. My name is Artemis, and this is
Nikki!
And we are your hosts on this live recording of this podcast. We do have a lovely audience. We do have a couple of people listening in, and they will probably be joining the conversation. So join us as we talk about this episode. Right now, we're going through the police case started counting down. This was posted January 19th, 2021. And Nikki, can you summarize it for us?
Yes. A lot happened and not a lot happened. So the briefcase underneath the red base warehouse stairs, the one that had the computer in it, the one that had the phone in it, everything. So they open it up. They decide to unplug the cord, cut the power, because the person in the email said it's probably a safe idea. As soon as Matt turns off the button, oh no, there's a beeping noise while he's lifting stuff out of the case because he's panicking. He finds the vial of liquid, which you kind of suspect is life's blood at this point, but we don't know. Matt concludes that it's not necessarily a bomb or explosive, but they think that it might be a memory wipe of the computer and that it would fry the device. So Matt pulls everything out, and him and Matt decide to take the case outside just in case it does detonate as the timer goes down. Matt ends up calling the sheriff's office like they did about 2 episodes ago, and they still get rerouted to Cyphus like they predicted. They're still waiting for the timer to count down because the timer is at about an hour. Camera pans away. We don't really see anything that happens, but we assume that the liquid must have caught on fire and it burned everything that was left in the case. In that time afterwards, Matt decides to actually go to the sheriff's station for 3 hours to discuss what happened. The police basically said that they are aware of previous incidences at the base and that they will come check out the place. but there is not much that High Five Studios can actually do. So, small summary.
Small summary. Again, there's not a whole lot of notes that I wrote down for this episode. It wasn't like a big reveal like a John Doe like the previous episode, but there were some things. For one thing, we do have chapter segments in this video, which kind of break down the video pretty well. There are too many wires where they're trying to get everything out of the case because they know what's going to happen, and Matt's realizing that the countdown is going to lead to them losing the evidence that they have because they cut the cord like John Doe had asked them to. They told him to do it immediately, even though we do kind of have a gap between the John Doe conversation and then immediately cutting the cord to the case. Why do you think that was? Was it a weekend or?
I don't know. I did find it a little sus that they kept bouncing back and forth between the safe and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
We don't have Samantha. It is a different feel in this video without her presence there, and them kind of going through this state of fear. The entire episode is just a state of fear, and just watching psychologically, it is kind of fun to watch this episode. Okay, that sounded way horrible, but I don't mean it like that. It psychologically, as an experiment, it is nice to watch this episode because you can really see the fight and flight going between them, because they keep leaving the case and coming back and going, and oh, we have to go get this, and oh, what are we gonna do? And when they have to actually sit there with the case, you can tell that they're very uncomfortable, that they don't want to be near the case. They're standing behind a bush that it's not going to do anything if it would have exploded. It is on a psychological level. It is kind of interesting to watch this fight and flight fear state that these guys are going through.
It was very interesting in terms of who was in it and who wasn't, because Woods brings such a calmness to a situation. So I felt like even though it was terrifying to watch, it was all calm. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if Sam would have been in it, not that she would cause chaos, but she always gives 4 different points of views or opinions on a situation, which is great. But it almost causes a little bit of a panic of, what do we do? Woods kind of, takes his time and logically thinks it through. Yeah. Which both are valid, ways of thinking when thinking situations through.
They're methodical.
The methodical, yeah, that's a good word of saying that, yeah.
They go to the old wreck area and to figure out how to deal with this stuff and finding a container to put all the electronics. And so I just find it very interesting on how they dealt with this dangerous situation.
Speaking of Woods and Matt taking a step back, I really liked how there was a moment for Woods. He had his, I think one of the chapters in this episode is Woods's show, where the camera follows him around for a decent amount of time. I'm sure that was probably part of the beat map of the episode. But I kind of like how it wasn't, we get to have individual moments with each of the characters. I love Matthias. I equally love Woods and Sam. And I wish we could just kind of, spend more time with them in the series.
Maybe if we can get, Bailey to hold the camera for Sam reacting to something in the studio. When she found the case had leaked in her office, I wish that would have been caught on camera and how she dealt with that. And we could have had that kind of personal moment with her. And it would have built kind of a character. We already love these characters because we already kind of know them through the high five thing. But we know that this is a story opening up. But anything else that you noticed in this episode? I just noticed the psychological effects of it. There was a little science at the end, but I'll get to that later.
I noticed, this is just more of a why, but for a majority of the episode, there was no lights. They didn't turn on any of the lights on. Why? It was just a simple flick of the switch, but they were in the dark, looking all mysterious and stuff.
Maybe.
I don't understand the reasoning behind that, but maybe they were lazy. I don't know.
Because now, fast forward to today, Matthias always has a light in his hand now. I would have to say that a lot of the things that we're going to discuss in audience, if you do not want to know any of the behind the scenes, I think from here we kind of have to just talk behind the scenes. They opened up the case started beeping, they took the electronics out, the case, didn't blow up, but it melted. That's all that happened in this episode.
Oh, I thought it was interesting that they kind of reproved the theory of they called the sheriff's office and Cyphus picked up again.
Even though it was all disconnected?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting, meaning that, more boxes or he's smarter than, we originally thought he was. Yeah. Way, 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 way back then. But yes, if you want, we should move over to BTS stuff.
Yeah, one of my BTS was they go to the wrecked area, and this might not have anything to do with the episode, but what did you think about Wreck?
I miss Wrecked. Yeah. Wrecked was and is my favorite High Five Studios Network channel. It was just, I'm more of like an improv-y kind of person. So the dynamic between all of the different characters was really fun. I think it was really cool to see all the spray paint on the walls. I don't know. It's one of those progression things of, oh my gosh, I remember when that was bare or when there was just like eggs splattered all over it. But now it was like spray paint and cool looking. And
I came into the High Five universe probably about 4 months before Rec got canceled. And I think me and you have already talked about this. Rec was my least favorite.
Wait, did we? Oh my god, no!
Yeah, Rec was my least favorite. I love and I miss all the people that worked on Rec. But it was my least favorite because it was like a opportunity to educate people. They just basically went in and destroyed things, and if something weird happened, they went, "Whoa, look at that weird thing," and then walked away from it. Where they could have investigated it and put some science into it and maybe had experiments instead of just destroying stuff, but have kind of a scientific background on it, kind of King of Random does. I
think the simple difference between me and you is you have a science background, so you want the explanations of why it happened, and I absolutely hate science, and I don't want to be educated.
Well, you were like, I just blow it up. It wasn't
blew an egg into a marshmallow.
It wasn't so much because I also have an education background. I was a STEM teacher. It wasn't STEAM yet when I was teaching. It was a STEM. But when I would go to the comments in those videos, there were a lot of kids like, "Oh, I wonder why this," and then you would have kids answering them completely wrong. "Oh, it does it like this," and I'm like, No. I'm like, if they could just open this up to a teaching moment, because there are tons of kids that watch this kind of content. You could educate kids and entertain them as well, because we don't need any more SpongeBob SquarePants, in my opinion.
There's also, did Gunnar, Tanner, Mariah, Connor, everybody that was on there, did they even know why it did what it did? So were they capable of even educating their audience, let alone themselves?
I believe anyone has the capability of educating anyone. I do not have a degree in education. I have no degree in education. But if I don't know something, I go look it up. I go look for it. And then I come back. And not only do I know something more about the universe and the world that I live in, but now I can educate the person who was with me and also had the same question.
But I'm lazy.
That's not an excuse. Okay, it is an excuse, but I grew up with a dad who always said excuses are just lies in disguise. Yeah, I don't know, but
are we getting deep?
We can. It's set on my therapeutic couch, but no. You and the entire audience just have a seat on my therapeutic couch. But I don't know. But it's like the kind of world that we live in. We have vast knowledge in our pockets at all times. You can easily just ask Google anything. And boom, you get instant results. But you say you're too lazy to speak to Google about it or speak to Alexa about it, or it's not even like you have to go to the library anymore and pick up a scientific method book or a quantum physics book. If you want to go out there, the knowledge is out there, and a lot of people think that they have to go to college to find that knowledge, but a lot of times, most of the time, the knowledge is already in there and already out there for free. You don't have to go and sign up for a college. You don't have to go out and ask a professor. And actually, you can email professors at any time. You don't even have to attend those colleges. You can easily go to a college like the university that I went to. You could email a professor at any time and pretend you're a student. No, they don't have a directory of students and be like, she's not even in our school. That knowledge is out there. And to me, I hated rec. Sorry to go on this huge rabbit trail, but I was like, there's such a missed opportunity there.
I think one quick comment, just because I do agree. I think accessibility now, in terms of Google, in terms of research, in terms of our phone and computers, it is so much easier than it was even just 10 years ago. And I don't think that kids utilize it as much as they should. I definitely agree with that. But on the psychological level, if that's the appropriate word, I think there's a generation difference. Because for us, and I think it has to do a lot with like phones and short form content, like TikTok, everything has to be like snappy fast. And also everything has to be fun, right? So if you're not also being educated while also having fun, what's the point for young kids? So I agree with Rect. Exactly. Instant gratification. Like they want it now. And I don't think that's like entitlement per se. I think that's just how
it's a culture. It's definitely an age gap where my generation as a millennial, we're definitely like, oh my God, look at all this technology. It's so much easier to do this, because when I was growing up in the 90s, if I wanted to know anything about anything, I had to go to the library and go through the catalog. Does anyone know what a catalog is anymore?
Oh my God. I had to use one last year and I couldn't do it. And I was so ashamed of myself. I was like, I used to be able to do this.
So I don't even know if I could do it anymore. I probably just Google how to look up a wrap up the spiel of Wrecked. I think it was a missed opportunity. I do miss it. I miss Gunner, and I miss like the people that were on it and the fun that they had. They legitimately had fun, and it was entertaining, and it was fun to watch. Anyway.
Okay, so we did a therapy session.
Yes.
To get
I got that off my chest. I said something that probably pissed off our entire audience, but I'm sorry.
I think the last thing I want to say, I have 2 comments on BTS, and then we can go to our audience. So so for the whole like melting thing, you know, when they melted the safe briefcase, when they melted the briefcase, it was very obvious how they turned away and how you can tell that it was like a little good camera trick, and so that the thing was already melted and then they just acted like something happened, right? And I think it was very believable that everything was burnt and everything was properly melted. Kind of looked like it melted in with some of the tar, but it could have just been the plastic that was blackened. I don't know too much about that science aspect, but what I found really interesting was the glass from the vial. There was no glass there. So where did the glass go? Which leads me kind of into the other question of what is life's blood? Because it powers electronics and it powers a body. So does it also like because it degrades, erodes, tears apart wood, it tears apart like carpet fabric. Could it tear apart glass?
I can tell you right now, there is no compound that does all that I know to my knowledge. I do have a limited knowledge in chemistry. I do have to say, I do believe what they used, BTS right here, but what they used in the briefcase was actually acetone. Acetone melts plastic, and maybe it was in the vial and they just sprinkled it in there and then took the vial away, because acetone does not eat. It does not eat glass. And I'm not talking about like acetone that women that you put on your fingernails to get off fingernail polish. We're talking about like the high 100% proof acetone. Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
Well, just like alcohol comes in.
How do you say it?
Alcohol.
Oh my. Alcohol?
Alcohol. I don't live in the hillbilly Arizona.
The hillbilly, Arizona.
Alcohol.
No, so I can't say Yosemite right.
Yosemite.
I said Yosemite.
Yosemite Sam. It's not Yosemite Sam.
I say Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite Sam. Anyway, thank you, Shelby, for having my back. Thank you. But even though she killed me in Among Us last night, I was so annoyed. Did deserve it. I will agree with Shelby and everyone there. I did deserve it because when I get imposter, I just kill.
She's
kill.
so manipulative. She's so gaslighting. She marinates people. She's good.
Yeah.
And that's why I always vote her out.
Well,
anyways.
Okay, and a little background behind the scenes of Miss Artemis here. I am a Slytherin, so I'm a Slytherin who loves science. But yeah, I think they used acetone in that. I don't think it would have been safe for them to blow up a vial of glass, especially with their lead talents just standing a few meters away behind a bush. That wasn't even behind a bush. It was right next to it. Like, if there was a blast radius, like, they should have went behind the concrete wall. Like, that would have been...
I don't know. I know they wanted to be, like, close, but they should have went farther away, which, reminds me of when that episode came out, we, in the community Discord, were kind of... This was still, again, when it was not released, it was unfiction, that right before the thing blows up and Matt is looking at his phone for the timer, you can actually see that he restarted the phone timer, because on an iPhone, it glows orange, and when the time goes down, the orange kind of follows around the circle and it goes down, right? But it looks like he resets it to 10 seconds. And so the orange circle is then refilled up.
So I'll just say, drink my Red Bull and be quiet.
It's fine. Okay. Let me invite Nugs. All right.
Hi,
welcome,
Nugs.
Guys. How's it going? So I thought I'd bring up the life's blood stuff again, because that stuff is confusing, and I know it's been talked about a lot, but what it is always confused me watching the episodes, because some of it melts and then it catches on fire in the one episode. It got me thinking on what the heck it could be, because there was that episode, I don't know if it was in season 1 or if it was before, but Sam let the vials drip onto the floor and then it caught fire, which I think was the first time they kind of introduced that serum in the series. That was when they found the case.
When she dropped the case, one of the vials were leaking, even before they knew that there were vials in it, and Woods rubbed it down with a cloth and it ignited. And I remember I was all like, okay, so friction, it got ignited by friction. I remember just like opening my old chemistry book, trying to figure out what kind of substance does not eat linoleum tile, but eats carpet. And I'm like, I came up with nothing. I was like, there is nothing here.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either, because, it also melded stuff like acid. The case, the plastic, and then, the case in episode 2, which, and then if the dude, whoever it was, if it was Cyphus or if it wasn't, it was injected into him. So what could that possibly do to a human? I was always, every time I hear about it, I'm thinking of the super soldier serum from the Marvel universe.
There is that whole super soldier thing going on.
This is out of my realm.
No,
it's one of those working theories, because it's more because I've been watching that Falcon and Winter Soldier that's been coming out recently, and that's kind of the focus of that show. And what's the point of this serum, and why is it being injected into a human being?
Well, what's interesting is that the stalker, I'm gonna call him Stalker and not Cyphus, because we found out that it's not Cyphus they've been talking to. The stalker said that he needed it to survive. So the super soldier, they don't need to survive it. They just need to survive, like Deadpool. Basically, he needs to survive the testing of it, and then once they survive it, they don't need it anymore. I don't know. If we're going to go down Marvel, I know that Matthias is more of a Marvel fan than a DC fan, but maybe instead of Super Soldier Marvel, maybe we're thinking more of a Bane from DC Comics, the villain.
Then if you go with the time travel theory, maybe it's something with, keeping him together, from splitting apart or something like that. Who knows?
Because there's a lot of paradoxes with the whole time travel thing. And if the Phantoms can time travel, they would have to. Yeah, there are too many paradoxes in that they would be ripped apart, because I don't know if anyone's studied time here, but time is a very weird thing. And the more you look into like space-time continuum or time dilation and stuff like that, time gets weird. It's almost like quantum physics. It's part of quantum physics. It's that kind of weird.
Yeah.
So
the thing is, there's a lot of different things that, there's how it was explained in Avengers Endgame, or it could be, something like Back to the Future. There's so many different aspects of it, so many different theories that what it could be.
Temporal paradox, the contradiction, the grandfather paradox. You have too many paradoxes for this. So I'm refraining on talking about time travel until we know what version
which
of
one
time.
Matt's going to build off of.
Yeah.
Are we going to do Back to the Future? Are we going to do Endgame? Or are we going to do... What are we doing?
Star Trek.
Hot Tub Time Machine?
Yes.
I wish.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
The whole compound thing is definitely because I remember this is when I started thinking, okay, this is all fake, because there's nothing in my chemistry book that fits this criteria that a human can survive consumption of this, and it does all these things. Not even that, because I didn't even know that a human would consume this then. I just knew, okay, it ignites with friction. It doesn't eat linoleum, but eats wood and fiber and plastic.
Oh,
there's nothing out there that does that. So that's when I was all like,
Shelby made, she's probably not here, but she made a comment saying, I wonder if they could be switching out different liquids to make it seem like the serum had different properties, aka a lot of different abilities, but in fact it's not all the same liquid.
They probably are, and that's what I was thinking with the episode where the floor lit on fire. Right. I think I saw something somewhere where they said that they had lit some foam or something on fire on the floor.
Yeah, I think it was lighter fluid.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. At one point, it could have been lighter fluid then, but...
Yeah, the chemical that was in the case at the end of this episode was definitely acetone.
I think Matt might have made a Reddit comment somewhere saying that he just took a torch to it and just melted it, and it looks like it's connected to the pavement.
Yeah.
But I don't think I can get backing.
Maybe he melted it on the pavement, so it did kind of stick,
So, thank you, Nugs.
Thank you,
I
Nugs.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you for
problem.
coming on. All right, bye.
Yep, see it.
What's up, Emico?
What's up?
Okay, I really don't have a planned question.
In case no one knows in the audience or in the podcast, Emico is the one that did the design for the album cover of the soundtrack.
Yes.
So he is our celebrity this evening, or celebrity
I am not
star.
a celebrity.
He is a celebrity every evening.
He also did the cover work for our podcast, and he's amazing. He's an amazing friend to step up and do that for us. At such a he did it with an hour.
Yeah.
So I was all like, oh
Hey, I
wow.
have some time to kill. Anyways, I have one question. I
Okay.
have one curiosity that really, when did the season start to shine? When did Matt's brain said, okay, this is going to be per season, season 0? And this trailer, I remember this trailer that really confused me. It's trailer, new series starts Friday. Which confused me because I don't know what that means, because it never became this, which is, I believe it's a trailer for, I think it's a trailer for the reaction thing where Matt reacted to like previous videos, right? I think so.
Let me see when that was posted. He posted it November 18th. So that was like season. Well, new series starts Friday. That was season. That doesn't make any sense. Based off of the start and end dates for season 0 and season 5.
Yeah, I don't get how is it a new series though. Maybe that's just a mistake on his behalf. Maybe he planned it to be like a series, but he never did. It just confused me.
Let me just.
He did make a comment about it on Reddit about how he chopped it up. But I have no idea where to even find that.
Oh wait, I thought he removed the.
You, as a Reddit mod, probably could find it better than I can. He made a comment on why he put the split in between season 0 and season 1.
Oh yes,
I remember that, but that's a long way to scroll.
I have it somewhere in the wiki. He said, in December, we decided to take a seasonal approach based on viewer feedback that the story wasn't going anywhere, which I agreed with. We need to add some backbone in the form of flexible narrative arch, but still guided by the viewers. Tanner actually helped me realize we need to put seasons in place. So 4 seasons a year, each 3 months. And then he says somewhere else that he wanted to start the year fresh, but I can't find that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm also curious about that. Like, how will he able to keep it up for 4 years already? Had that mindset that, okay, it's gonna last this long.
To be honest, he's already been keeping it up for, 3 years now? 2018?
Technically, like, half, like, 1 year of it is like nothing. It's basically just like a 1 year break.
We still had that interest in it. It didn't go away. Even though he didn't feed the fire. When he started talking about the keys again, we were right there with him, and he didn't even have to baby us, keep us engaged at all. We were already engaged. So yeah, I think Matthias and the team are fully capable of keeping us engaged for 4 more years.
I think they're developing some structure, and I think it's going to get better each season. But I think that this season, like season 1 in particular. Oh, season 0, I think. Anyways, but like it just drags on, I feel. Like there are some episodes that there was 40 minutes of nothing and 1 minute of action. And I felt like I kind of wasted time doing that. So if they're going to do that, I think they need to do something where each episode ends on a serious cliffhanger. Because some of them are just kind of like, ooh, oh my god, what are they gonna do? Instead of, oh my god,
Those like season 0 episodes are like more or less vlogs rather than actual action. Rather than actual like something happening. Like,
yeah, a lot of it is just walking around, and I think more action I think is going to make them get more views.
They're also tied to the studio because of the pandemic. I think once we start getting more vaccinations out there in the United States, and that we get the herd immunity, that he'll be able to explore more areas, because he is kind of confined to a small group of people because of limitations and confined to the studio. So I am interested to see where this is going to go once the quarantine is let up and we have the herd immunity.
And they fix on production issues too.
Yeah, and
I'm just like interested in seeing like how. I really hope this series won't get repetitive as much as like Rec and BU did, because this is a way different route Matthias took, which I'm happy that he took it, because it was such a breath of fresh air from all of the challenges and like stuff. Because if we are being honest, like most like old like content of High Five are challenges based. Like it's like the nerf challenge or the break this challenge or this challenge, but something about a story that people can engage in. It's like such a breath of fresh air from High Five.
Yeah, from the typical content. Yeah,
I'm going to pull something up that I haven't told a lot of people.
Oh,
I'm going to
Ooh,
have
what
to
is,
find it. I have to travel.
is this
Oh my
exclusive?
gosh. August 5th. It is on the Matthias channel, and if you want to go and look at it, you can. He posted on August 4th, 2020, and it says, "Yes, I've changed, responding to your criticisms." And this was, 8 months ago. I sat down and wrote this, and Matthias did reply. As I'm sitting here, actually, I'm laying in my bed, I can't help but think about community. One YouTuber who has got it right now on building a community with his audience is PewDiePie. Honestly, people can say PewDiePie is made for 9-year-olds, but he's upgraded his journey and his community to 19-year-olds. He, in a sense, has grown and graduated his content and his community. He engages his community with things like Lawai, Discord, Minecraft servers, his subreddit. He live streams. He is engaging the community, thus making the community excited about the content. Matthias is so concerned about entertaining that he is missing a key ingredient in community, and that's engagement. I can see the spark and passion he has. It has been renewed since the first quarantine. I'm just clarifying, since the first quarantine. He's excited to build his people, his platform, his enthusiasm, but I would like to see more engagement. Having a GG shoot a Minecraft server video with fans, playing Jackbox on live stream with fans, Matthias channel hosting Discord chats, art competitions on the subreddit, animation competitions with audio from other channels, or green screen competitions, having Rose surprise fans with songs at their houses, or even on burner phones to text or to sing to them. Involve the community, bring us closer to the stage, teach us, lead us. Don't be afraid of letting some of the audience get involved.
Wow.
This was before, all of this thing. He had it in the works, but it's kind of interesting that I posted this, and he wrote back, "I appreciate this. We are in the works to make a lot of stuff like this happen soon. One step at a time, but I'm excited."
Very blunt, straight to the point.
It was almost like I got ahead of him on this. And so when you talk about, Emico, when you talk about like a breath of fresh air of coming towards this, I think this is what we needed as fans, especially going through quarantine, going through COVID, and going through all these problems that we're having, that we're also building this community. We're doing this as a community. And that's one of the things that inspired me to do this podcast with Nikki, because it's so in line with Matt's vision to build the community, to have us closer to the stage. Mm-hmm. And we're going on this journey together, and especially the whole sense of that we are Project 4 is bringing us to the stage. It's exactly what I was craving 8 months ago. And I didn't know. And there's so many other people out there. Like, you can just go to the Behind 863 subreddit and see all these like, "Dear Matt," or "Matt, read this." And it's, "Matt, I needed you and you were there, and this is amazing. And this community has been amazing." And Nikki, you know that I bawled my eyes out because I wrote a stupid comment, and Matthias answered me and was like, "I'm praying for you, and I hope the community backs around you," and the community has. So
that was really great that when he responds to Reddit comments, it's not necessarily just about his business or him or his series. Sometimes it's personal. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the number one way of connecting to your community.
Yeah, I won't share that comment. If you're really interested, you're gonna have to get onto my Reddit page and look at my posts, because actually it wasn't even my post. I was commenting on someone else's post, and he commented on my comment, and I know it almost made you cry. And I remember I had to. I don't even remember what we were doing, but I was like, I think we were just in VC. And I had to go outside, and I had to call one of my best friends. His name is Sean, and he's probably listening to the podcast. Love you, Sean. He has no idea what we're talking about. He has not seen an episode, but I want to watch the podcast. So hopefully this is inspiring him to watch the episodes with us. So
Hi, Sean.
Hi, Sean. I call him Boo Bear. No, we're just friends, but he was at one time, he was my work boo. Yeah, so... Anyway,
So-
I just
863.
863. I predicted it. Yay me. No.
For the podcast, and happy for you all.
Bye.
Happy for us because it's a community effort.
So we have one more guest
Okay.
ready to go. Doggo, are you ready?
Doggo.
Doggo.
Who let the
Oh,
doggo
okay.
out?
Okay. That's fine. I'm going to invite you.
So I was wondering where you think the coming season is going to go with the story. Like the first season was like, oh, who is this guy? You know, what is the season going to focus on?
You mean season 2?
Season 2, yeah.
I haven't seen the last 2 episodes. I don't know.
It's definitely going to be Life's Blood or maybe the infrastructure of Syntech.
We need a lot more information on Syntech. Yeah.
It's running because going back to the previous episode, John Doe told them that he was the last of what? It was like a typo or something like that, or that wasn't. That was just miscommunication, but to me, maybe he's the last of some kind of cult that has started this whole thing, and he's made
dang,
these
my
phantom
phone's about
followers.
to-
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
my phone's about to die. Thanks for having me.
But I think it's Life's
fine.
Blood. Yeah.
Okay, so ultimate last question, okay? We're inviting Nick Jonas onto our podcast.
Oh my god, I'm so nervous.
I'm so happy.
Oh my god, Nick Jonas. Anyway.
Alright.
What was your question, Mr. Jonas?
Do you think we're gonna see more about Wesley and stuff with like how Syntech is like improving? Do you think we're gonna get more features on the website? And, like more Deb images that we have to find? Or do you think that'd be something Matthias would go into? We actually have to find the cryptic image Deb puts in the website? Do you think they would go that route?
I think so. I think there was a potential to do it with the subject 4 file, and it turned out to be nothing. But I think there was a potential there. The only downside I can see is people crashing the website, especially when an episode gets released.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it went down, but they purposely shut it off, like so nobody could access it because it got hacked or something. Hacked, quotation marks, hacked.
To going into more Wesley's.
For Wesley, yes, just because we know nothing about it, and the audience is bringing up a lot about this like love triangle between Wesley and Deborah. Oh, you didn't know about that?
No.
Oh, they think that Wesley and Deb were like a thing and they were dating, and working at Syntech caused them to have a divide, or Wesley was best friends with Nelson, and there was just Wesley was playing like the political game of trying to please Wesley, but also know that his like lover is his best friend and his lover are enemies, kind of thing.
Deb tells Wesley, I can save you this time. What does that mean?
Oh.
Save him from Cyphus.
This time.
Or that he was already dead and she brought him back to life.
Because he said it doesn't work out, and she says, I can save you this time. So I don't know if it's a love triangle, as it's more of she's trying to save him from something. We don't know. From Cyphus, we don't know. From dying. Maybe he's dead, and we have to figure out what happened to him.
I think it's definitely a potential for an alternate reality kind of thing. I think that will get really complicated really fast.
If they do go that route, I really hope that Matthias do some consultations with some quantum physicists, sending them an email. But I hope that they do go down the road of time travel and maybe alternate universes.
Or is it alternate universes when you like hop between timelines? I don't know.
So in quantum mechanics, there are things that called parallel universes, and then there's the theory of the multiverse. So take that as you will. If anyone's out there who knows what the hell I'm talking about, you can comment down below and tell me what you think about any parallel universes happening in the 863. But does anyone know? Brayden, please tell me you know about Schrodinger's cat.
I love Schrodinger's cat. Oh my god, I got so excited. I love the whole theory.
That goes with the alternate universes. Have you heard of this theory?
No.
So go ahead and open your hand up right in front of you, and audience, if you want to do that too. I want you to picture a little tiny cat on your hand, little itty bitty cat, and then right next to the cat is poison. Okay, a bowl full of poison. You close your hand, so go ahead and close your hand. You cannot see the cat anymore. Schrodinger's cat basically says the cat is both dead and alive until you open your hand and see what universe you're in or what it is. It's actually going more into we're going more the quantum realm, talking about particles, but that also explains parallel universes, that we don't know what parallel universe we are in until we experience the decisions that we have to make or that are thrust on us. Maybe Deb is fighting a parallel universe where Wesley just keeps dying and she doesn't know what universe that she's going to be in. She's trying very hard to find the universe where Wesley makes it, and maybe 863 is that universe. So
I love the idea, but not for the series. I just feel like if we do that, if they're more like an employee, like co-worker kind of relationship, like best buds, totally vibing with it. I would totally get it. I just don't want this to turn into not like a chick flick, but I don't want any romance in it. I mean, like, if this is strictly going to be like a mystery sci-fi show, I want it strictly a mystery sci-fi show.
Why? Okay, what if Deb and Wesley are brother and sister?
Oh. Is that why we don't know Deborah's last name? Because it's also Nathaniel? Oh.
That would explain the kind of overprotectiveness that we can sense in the tapes. So I don't really want to thrust romance in it, because then it's kind of like, I don't know.
I think you're onto something, that they're siblings, though.
Yeah.
That would be a good idea, because that's, kind of the reason why Wesley is so hesitant. Because it's not his best friend and his lover fighting, it's his best friend and his sister fighting.
Yeah.
I don't want to assume they're best friends. I'm just associating that term, because I don't really know how to define it.
That was the vibe I got, the way he was talking to her on the tape. You always do this type of thing, and this is how you are. And that's kind of like how I thought about it. I didn't think about it like a lover's quarrel.
Yeah, so I definitely see them more as siblings, because that'd make more sense in my opinion.
I think so too.
Because, but for me personally, I have pretty much the same love for my best friend as I do my sister.
Yeah.
Sounds weird, but
No, I agree.
Yeah.
So it's like trying to pick sides. That'd be the toughest thing for me to do.
So anyway, I'm going to have to say that this concludes season 1, episode 2, that we have enjoyed our audience. We've enjoyed Twitter and Reddit and the people who have supported us on this first session recording stuff. So I have enjoyed this. I've enjoyed picking everyone's brain.
Thank you for the Discord, the High Five Community Discord, for hosting us.
Yes, thank you so much.
We couldn't have done this without you. We appreciate all of you.
Appreciate the Reddit community for letting us post and kind of self-promoting us, but this is for everyone. This is not us. This is not our podcast. It is starring the community, and that includes Reddit, Discord, Twitter, the YouTube community, wherever you're at. Even if this gets onto Spotify and Apple, you are part of this community. You are Project 4, and we appreciate all of you, and we hope to see you at a live recording if you get the chance, or if you are shy of coming on, we still want to include you. Send us a tweet, and we'll include your comments or discoveries or theories in the live recordings as well. We want to include as many people as possible. So,
yes.
Anyway.
Ditto.
Yes. We love everyone, and thank you so much.